again, guys.
Hello.
Hi, April.
Adventure is worthwhile in itself. Does that mean anything to anybody?
No.
Yes.
No.
What does it mean to
It means a lot of stuff.
Okay. Yes, sir.
It means exploration, going through new things.
Okay. Well, to me, it does mean to explore, and not just explore the world, but explore yourself. My speech is going to be about traveling, not just at any time, but traveling when you're young. You need to travel when you're young because it's common to not know at our age what you want or what you like. So you don't really know yourself. So when you do travel when you're young, you get to feel different things, experience different cultures, and also taste different foods and meet different people. So it's an amazing experience to know yourself and find out who you are. As well as traveling while you're young and experiencing yourself, it teaches you how to be independent. Being independent comes with being a young adult. And I know that's kind of crazy because everybody doesn't want to grow up and be a young adult, but it happens. So traveling when you're young can open your eyes to that. And it can help you with physical attachments as well. And what physical attachments are responsibilities. When you're young, you don't have that many responsibilities. So you don't have a mortgage yet, you don't have a car payment, you probably don't have kids. If you do, that's great, but you probably don't. So yeah, it helps you with those responsibilities and physical attachments. And as you see on my first slide here, I'll start talking about the first topic, which is it's common not to know who you are at a young age. When you're a teenager, you go through a lot of emotions and hormones, and you don't really know what you like. So when you visit a country like, let's say, bring it in the U.S., New Orleans. Let's say you visit New Orleans, and you have a love for music, but you've never heard jazz music before. And you're walking down, the sidewalk, something, and you hear amazing jazz music, and you just end up loving it. You can experience something that you've never known about yourself just by visiting a different place. And you find out who you are by visiting different places and feeling different cultures and seeing these things. So I think that's why, it's good to travel when you're young because it's common not to know who you are. And it's good to experience those things for yourself. And this is the second slide. As you see here, there are some people folding laundry. There's also some people drinking together. Of course, these are young adults. So another reason why it's good to travel when you're young is because it shows independency. When you're independent, it can provide many things to you, like a sense of independency, almost like young adulthood coming upon you. And that's important because when you travel to different places, you do feel independent. You're without your parents, you may be with a boyfriend or just a group of friends, and it can make you feel like, wow, I really did this. I bought my ticket, I planned it all, I saved all that money to go on this trip, and now I'm having the time of my life. When you get older, you're not going to regret traveling when you're younger. You'll look back and say, wow, that was an amazing trip, and I had an amazing time. So when you do travel, it can provide these things to grow you into young adulthood, and I think that's extremely important, especially being our age and going through all these crazy things, working full-time and everything like that, so it can give you a little break, and it can definitely help transfer you to young adulthood. Sorry guys, it's supposed to change. The last thing I want to talk to you guys about is physical attachments. Now I know I spoke to you guys about this a little bit earlier, but this is going to be a little bit of a longer topic. When you are young, you don't have those responsibilities, like I said. Maybe you have kids, or maybe you have a mortgage, but I doubt it. So when you're young, you can travel longer and see more places, and you don't have to settle yourself in to one place at one time. You can go out and be there for a longer period of time. So when you're in, let's say, Peru, you can be there for 2 weeks and not have to worry if someone's feeding the dog, if someone's watching your babies, if you have to have this car payment or credit card bill. You don't have to worry about that because it's not there yet. You're not there yet. You're still developing yourself. So you can go out and travel for as long as you want and not have those physical attachments or responsibilities, which I think is really important, so you can find yourself and experience yourself before you're independent. So I think that's really important. Now I know you guys may have a few objections, and I just wanted to show you a couple of programs you could go into if you may not have the funds or any idea of where to start when you're traveling when you're young. These are some amazing programs. Wolf, I always heard of that one a lot when I was younger, and it's a program where you can go out, work for a few days out of the week, and the other days you can go out and travel the country, and it's many different countries. There's one story of a gentleman going to Italy because he loves wine and he loves grapes. So he went out and worked on a winery. He picked grapes, and for 2 weeks, the host taught him how to sail. They would take him out in the evening after he was done picking grapes. He had souvenirs, bottles of wine, and they would teach him how to sail. So he actually learned how to sail, and that's pretty cool. All hosts are different, though, so don't think you're going to learn how to sail if you go out or something like that. There's also One World 365, which I don't know too much about. I just know that it was another program that a lot of people volunteer and go into. And then there's also Smaller Earth. Now I know Smaller Earth is a bit of a different type of volunteer program. It has a lot of hitchhiking and backpacking, that kind of thing. Not so much you're staying in the people's houses and living with them. Because Wolf is more of you email that person, get to know them, and then you go stay at their place, and they can provide, private room, whatever it is, and 3 meals a day in order for work and stuff. So these are a few more objections I thought you guys would think of, but I'm going to clear those up now. Money is an issue. Okay, so I know everybody, you may have some spare change, spare cash every day when you're spending money, whatever it is. How about do that little, I think it's called cash. It's like where your change goes from every transaction into your savings. I think that's really important because it just takes a bit of change every single time you have a transaction with your card into your savings account, and then it adds up over time. Or, all that change at the bottom of your purse or your bag, throw it in a jar, throw it in a shoebox, whatever you want to do, and just save it at the end of the week, at the end of the day, and you will have money for that trip. Safety. Of course, safety is always first, as you can see. A lot of people, especially females, have this safety issue, so I always say travel in groups, be aware of your surroundings, and make sure you're with somebody else. Don't be alone. Be with somebody else, be with a group, and be aware of your surroundings. There's also time, and I know this is a huge one because we're all, full-time college students. Like I said, we have busy lives. I would say take a short trip. If you're working full-time and everything, sorry guys, it changed already. If you're working full-time and going to school full-time, then I say plan a short trip. Take a road trip. Do something like that. Go up to the Everglades for a couple days. It's a short, but definitely a trip that's worth experiencing, right? And as my last slide, you can see me here. I hiked up a mountain. Sorry. I hiked up a mountain in Mount Pinatubo in the Philippines. It took me 20 minutes, and that's a crater of a volcano. And it's a lake now. You can go swimming in there. It was an awesome experience, and I definitely think everybody would love to experience doing something like this. Like I said, adventure is worthwhile in itself, and hopefully that means something to you guys now.